Hey guys, this is gonna be not a transitional related video, and I feel like I do need to talk about a couple of things that people have been asking me on Tumblr and in real life. Also, I would like you to notice my very summery looking shirt where you can see my binder, ooh, ah. I mean, it's not a long binder, so you can totally see my stomach and stuff like that, but it looks like I'm wearing a really big sports bra. Okay, so this topic will be discussing cis people and asking very inappropriate questions about my sexual life. Somebody on Tumblr wanted me to talk about how trans people have sex. Now, I've made 2 videos about this on FTM Transtastic, and I feel like I can't really emphasize this topic. I can't talk about it because everybody is different. I mean, a lot of people have sex differently. A lot of people like to be touched who are trans. I mean, I get questions every day, do you like to be touched and stuff like that, which is fine, blah, blah. But let's talk about these inappropriate questions. I am so sick of cis people, and disclaimer if you are not aware of what cis people are, it's basically somebody who is not trans. So I am trans, I'm not cis because I don't identify with my biological sex and gender. Somebody who is like my father identifies with their sex and gender, and they're cis, okay? So it's not an offensive term, and if you're cis and you find it offensive, seriously stop watching this video. But don't stop watching it, though, because it's kind of informative, and you kind of need to know this information if you find that offensive. Okay, so basically, we all know I'm open. We all know I answer anybody's questions. Well, I'm kind of fed up of it. Anybody asks me a question in real life, I literally tell them this. Look, you're lucky that I am so open and I will answer this question for you. If you ever ask any other trans person this question, I swear to God they will slap you across the face. Oh, and we've all had these questions, and they're very annoying. And I don't mind taking the bullet for a couple of people. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. But when these questions become so personal, I can't do it anymore. An example. I love these examples. This did not actually happen to me. It happened to my lover, and I really hope that she doesn't mind that I discuss this story. She was talking to her friends at school or something like that, and one of her male cis friends, sure, asked, oh, how do you and Chase have sex? Ooh, I'm sorry, but we all know you crossed the line. Everybody knew you crossed the line. Apparently everybody knew that. But look, the fact that it's just brushed off, it's no big deal that you just ask somebody one of the most personal questions you can ask them, and it's just oh, no big deal. There goes your cis privilege. There goes my, I just asked it, there's no fucking big deal. There is a big deal, and I am not gonna fucking stand it anymore. I get questions all the time in person. I was talking to a very close friend of mine, which I have talked about this on YouTube before. I'm not sure on FTM Transtastic or my personal channel, but I discussed how one of my friends who is queer, who knows that I'm trans, who watches my videos, who knows this stuff, asked me a very inappropriate question about my lover and I in the bedroom. I am sorry, but there's a fucking line and you crossed it. I don't care how open I am, and I will tell you anything about my transition and how I feel in my body and if I bind and stuff like that to my friends who know me or new acquaintances who are in the queer community who are really chill and stuff like that. I get a good vibe from you, of course I'll tell you my life story. But somebody who's friends with me who's gonna ask me a question like this, I'm sorry, I don't care how queer you are, how friends we are, I will lose you as a friend if you don't stop with these questions. Obviously I have examples that don't relate to my life and my lover or anything like that. I see it all the time. We've all seen the shit cis people say. We've all seen it. Have you had the surgery yet? I get that question. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about me right now because this happens to me a lot. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people, but I'll just relate it to my life right now. I've had so many people. I'll give you an example. I went to the clinic because I had an infection on my stomach or something, and the person was like, oh, are you on any medication? I was like, oh yes, I'm on testosterone. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, but I was off of it for a year, and now I'm back on it for a little bit. And she's like, oh, so you decided to transition fully. And that made me think okay, she's a doctor, blah, blah, you can ask me these questions, but I felt the way you're asking, it's as a cis person, you have privilege to ask me this question because you are a person of authority who works in the medical establishment who can ask me these questions without me questioning them. Well, I am questioning it. I can't handle it anymore. It's my personal life. I was stopped at the border going into Canada. going into Canada. You would think I would get stopped going into America, but no. The friendly country of Canada ain't so friendly at all. I give them my passport, they look at me, they say sit down, I'm like freaking out, like oh my god, they come up to me. I have to sympathize my life to them so that I don't get in trouble. I have to literally say, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like here's my prescription, I'm trans, like I'm taking testosterone, it's why I don't look like my pictures, here are all my other identifications, here's a letter from my doctor, here's everything, before you even tell me that I'm like gonna be in trouble or something. And then they look at my information like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, you can go. But, of course, before they do that, you know, cis people in their privilege need to ask questions that they're really curious about that they don't really need to know. So, what questions did the border people ask me going into Canada? When are you gonna change your name? Excuse me? When am I gonna change my name? Is that any of your fucking business? No, I'm never gonna see you again, none of your business. Oh, are you gonna have the surgery? Excuse me? The surgery? What's the surgery? Am I gonna get a penis? Is that what the fuck you're talking about? Oh, I'm getting angry at this topic. I need to stop. I'm sorry. This went from like having sex to like cis privilege. I can't handle it anymore. I'm so sick of sympathizing myself to authority cis figures who just look down on me because I am a lesser human being, because I'm trans, and I just have to abide by every single little rule that they go, and every single question that they ask, I have to fucking answer. I don't want to do it anymore. I can't handle it. I honestly don't mind my friends asking me, who are cis, my cis, non-queer friends who are close to me, like my Tumblr family is what I call them, like my friends that I've gotten from Tumblr who are like queer, I said not queer before, I meant queer, sorry, who are like queer and like close, and like they know trans issues and stuff. Like I was Skyping with a friend, I really don't mind that she asked me like, oh, so are you gonna have the surgery, like obviously my top surgery, because that's what I talk about on Tumblr, and I was like, oh no, I'm not really thinking about it. She's like, oh, why? And I'm like, just don't really want to talk about it. I mean, I blah blah, and that's fine. Me saying I don't want to talk about it is fine. It's when, oh my, I feel like I'm saying it in such a derogatory term, but I'm really not, and I really hope that, okay, my light keeps coming off, whatever. I really hope that people who are cis and watching this do not feel offended at all by anything that I'm saying, because I'm such anger. If you are an ally, please, that's fine. Of course, there's a different definition of ally, which we will not get to. Those ally people. Ooh. Oh, I love when they just... I saw this post on Tumblr, and it just makes complete sense with the post that I'm posting. It was like, you're not really an ally if the one time you mess up, you say, oh, but I'm an ally. I'm sorry. No, I can't handle it. Also, not having a light and stuff makes my face look really red and, like, very greasy, but whatever. So yes. It's the persisting, my point was, it's the persisting of cis people to keep going with the questions. I don't want to have surgery. Oh, why not? You know, don't really have money right now, don't feel like it. But you want your tits off, right? I mean, I don't really want to talk about this right now, is that okay? But I don't understand, why don't you want to talk about it? I cannot handle it anymore. I'm gonna go crazy. I hate society. You know when I tell myself I'm just gonna make a video like 4 minutes long and then it ends up being like 10 minutes? I'm sorry, people, especially Tumblr, which is who asked me to make this video, which I will be posting. Love me, take me back. I'm just so sick of these cis-privileged people thinking they can rule my life and everything around it. Let me give you a little institutional example. Oh, I love Quebec. We all know I love Quebec. We all know I want to live here the rest of my life, go to school here, because, you know, tuition hikes are my favorite. But let's not get into that. Name change, of course, we all know. I need to pay like $300, I need to post it in a newspaper for 2 weeks, I need to get money to change my passport, to change my Medicare card, to change my social insurance, to change my license. You know... Oh, and I have to get another letter from a doctor, which is going to cost me $100. This is great. So we love Quebec. I love that. And I also love all the questions they keep asking, especially if you want to get your gender marker changed, which I'm sorry is impossible unless you have structural modification of your sexual organs. I feel like I am not human. It feels great. Thank you to all the government institution cis people who are running my life, who have no idea of any issues that I face on a daily basis, but yet can tell me how to live my life and what are the steps that I need to do to live my life. I'm so glad that I have a doctor who can like let me go on and off T. If I had a doctor that wouldn't let me do that, I don't know what I would do. Anyways, this has been like the longest rant ever about how much I don't hate cis people. I'm sorry, I do not. I do not hate cis people. I hate cis privilege and people who do not know they have cis privilege, obviously because they have cis privilege, and people who use it. I mean, you're not intentionally using it, you're just using it because you are. Because that's who you are, that's what you have, it's on you. And people who just think they can make me feel like I am not a person. I am so sick of cis privilege. Oh my god. And yes, look, I have privilege in this society. I'm very aware. I have male privilege, I have vegan privilege, and I have white privilege. Hello, look at me. There's probably other privileges that I have right now that I'm not naming, but look, what I'm focusing on right now is cis privilege, and as a trans person in Quebec, Canada, who there is no laws at all to protect me, I feel horrible, and I can't even imagine how it must be for somebody who is like a person of color or somebody who is just a trans woman. I can't even imagine how much horrible, that's not a word, their experiences must be compared to mine. But this has just been a brief message from a trans white guy who is very privileged in this society, except in the cis aspect, and that was just my experience. Anyways, I'm sorry this video was like 14 minutes long, but I'm very angry right now, and I'm just so sick of cis privilege, and I need to make fun of something in this video before it becomes all serious. Okay, you can follow me on Tumblr now if you want.